Good morning. In the last lecture, we discussed about a spring controlled governor under the category of Harting type governor. You have seen in the Harting type governor, we kept two springs. Okay, one is on the left and one is on the right. Okay, where horizontally the springs are mounted instead of vertical, which was like in a Hartnell governor. And today's lecture, the last governor category is the Wilson Hartnell governor. The governor also called as auxiliary spring controlled governor. So why it is called auxiliary spring controlled governor is, in addition to the main spring, here we use one more spring that is called auxiliary spring. You can refer the diagram which is available. Okay, so simple line diagram I will draw. Already the complete diagram is available there. So the fly balls like fly ball 1 and fly ball 2, okay, are placed such a way that they are connected by two springs. That means they are kept parallel. So the ray, you can imagine there are like two springs, spring 1 and spring 2 are connected this end and this end. So these are two springs. The two springs are placed. This is fly ball 1 and this is fly ball 2. Then these fly balls are connected to bell crank levers as usual. So there is bell crank lever horizontal and vertical arms. So these are bell crank levers connected like this. And of course you have your sleeve and there is a main spindle and these bell crank levers are pivoted at points called A and B, and the entire sleeve is connected like this. Okay, and this is a simple line diagram. Okay, and in addition to this, here you can observe one more spring is connected, which is called auxiliary spring. And here we keep a fulcrum point at one location, and so this is called auxiliary spring. This is called auxiliary spring. Now if you draw the free body diagram, okay, the two extreme positions are shown, lower speed and higher speed separately. So the forces what we get here, let us see. So the spring is here with a spring stiffness of SA, and here the main spring stiffness is S. S is the main spring and SA is the auxiliary spring. And we defined these distances like X and Y. This is X from the fulcrum point and this is called Y. So here you can see when the speed increases, main spindle speed increases, then these fly balls will move in the outward position like this. Then the fulcrum will causing lift of the sleeve like this. Similar, if the speed is reduced, you can see it simply pushes. So this lift, whatever this lift, so that lift will cause this auxiliary spring also lifting or either like this or moving like this. So here the lift of the spindle, the lift of the spindle causes the balls outward. When it balls moves outward, then the entire lift or sleeve will be moving up. When the sleeve is moving up, then this is causing the spring auxiliary in the downwards. So this is high speed state. In the reverse way, when it is dropping down, okay, then it is moving down. So when it moves down, then this spring is compressed, okay, that is, this part is low speed category. So you can see one is high speed category and another one is a low speed category. So the force analysis we will see, okay, we will see the force analysis, how the forces are affecting with the diagrams available, and we will see those diagrams separately, okay. So this is the main working. There are two springs are connected parallel, one behind the other. These are the fly balls, and there is a separate auxiliary spring is pivoted here, and this auxiliary spring is connected to your main spindle through another lever like this, and this is pivoted at a point here, okay. Suppose when the sleeve moves up, so then this fulcrum point will cause moving the auxiliary spring in the down, and whereas it moves down, then this auxiliary spring is going to be compressed. So if you look at the free body diagrams, then what are the forces you get? There are four forces we get. One is centrifugal force, F here, and another one is spring force, Fs, and another one is sleeve, Mg, and another one is auxiliary spring force, Fa. Okay, even Mg also we get, that is self weight of the sleeve, but I neglect this, that is 0, because neglecting obliquity effect of arm. That means neglecting obliquity effect of arm, neglecting obliquity, neglecting obliquity. Neglecting obliquity indicates like A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, B1 is equal to B2 is equal to B, C1 is equal to C2 is equal to 0. So this terminology are familiar with us from the fundamental basic governor, spring controlled one, Hartnell governor onwards. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So when I consider C1, C2 is equal to 0, automatically this mg component couple or mg component moment, not couple, moment, it becomes 0. Okay. So let us see the free body diagram analysis. Okay, and with that analysis we will solve a problem, okay, on Wilson-Hartnell type governor. On Wilson-Hartnell type, you can see on the right side I have shown the two positions of the force analysis at lower speed and higher speed. So you can see here the first one, which is shown with a yellow color, is lower speed. This is for lower speed. And the second one here is for higher speed. The forces, various forces that acts are shown, and I have also shown the entire forces and terminology without neglecting the obliquity effect of arms. Okay, let us see here C1, C2, A1, A2. So the two speeds corresponding to lower speed and higher speed and its free body diagrams are available. So you can see the forces are like spring force main and spring force auxiliary one. So here you can see for the first one lower speed and another one is higher speed. So main force spring force Fs1 and auxiliary one is called Fsa1. Okay, like Fs2, Fsa2. So these things are the forces coming on the governor. Here we have written C1, C2, that is by considering obliquity, but finally I will consider neglecting obliquity, that is C1 is equal to C2 is equal to 0. So I have written here the friction component also F. So if I neglect F, simply I will be having four forces. Just now I said the forces what I have, one is like F, Fs, Fsa, Mg. These are the four forces F, Fs, Fsa, Mg. So if I put it like 1, it stands for lower speed. If I put 2, it stands for higher speed. So let us first consider at lower speed. What is the lower speed? F1. So if it is at lower speed, this will be moving inside and this will be moving down. Okay, so here this is F1, Fs1, and this is A, this is also taken as A, and this is B, this is also taken B. That is neglecting the obliquity. And what about here? This is half mg. So half will be shared on the left and half will be shared on the right. That is self weight. And in addition to this, what is the other component you get? That is the auxiliary spring force. So this is the main spring force and this is the auxiliary spring force. So this spring force will not come a total component, it will be shared y by x. What is this y by x? I will tell you. Okay, and this is the radius of rotation. R1. So what is this Fsa into y by x is, see the spring force, auxiliary spring force which acts here this is the spring force auxiliary one. So as I stated here, there is a fulcrum point which we defined like this is x, this is y, okay, and the actual load that is coming on the bell crank lever is here like this. So this force I require, this force due to auxiliary spring, this I require. So if I take this point as a fulcrum point, then I can write like taking moments here, force due to auxiliary spring at here, let me call this is Fs A is auxiliary spring, okay, and whereas here force due to auxiliary spring at x, okay, this I can call like Fsa at x, that is at x I will put it like say I can call C suffix 6 into x, this is equal to Fsa into y. So I have taken moments here. What is it? This force into x is equal to this force into y. So actual my force is this. So this force is nothing but Fsax is equal to Fsa y by x. That is what is. Okay, half mg plus Fsa into y by x is due to auxiliary spring force component which comes here. Okay, then let me write the moments equations taking moments at this point A. So this is F1. So moments at A is 0. So for low speed, that is F1 A, okay, anti-clockwise. So F1 A, so let me write initially A is A1, then Fs1 into A1, okay, then that is equal to R minus half mg, okay, plus Fsa into y by x. So I have not taken into the consideration of the friction force. So half into mg plus Fsa, okay, into y by x, perpendicular distance of B1 is equal to 0. So F1A1 minus Fs1A1 minus half mg Fsa into y by x into B1 is equal to 0. So this is auxiliary force at the state 1. So I can call this is SA1. So 1 stands for low speeds, 1 stands for low speeds. Similar if I write the other part, that is for the 2 condition. So condition 2 means like this. This is condition 2 and this is condition 1. So if I write for 2, then it will be F2, then it will be Fs2, then here half into mz plus FSA2 y by x. So if I write this equation, okay, F2 A2 minus FS2 A2 minus half mz FSA2 y by x into B2 is equal to 0. Let me call these equations 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 equations like this. So neglect obliquity of arms. If you neglect obliquity of the arms, A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, B1 is equal to B2 is equal to B. Of course, C1 is equal to C2 is equal to 0. So actually, if I want to write the mg component is also there, that I have already neglected, or else this is once I can consider here, this is mg C2 C1. So that means I will consider that component also here, minus mg C1 and here minus mg C2. So anyhow C1 and C2 are 0, these components will become automatically 0. So A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, B1 is equal to B2 is equal to B, C1 is equal to C2 is equal to 0. So if I apply those things, I will get these values like F1A minus FS1A is equal to, I will take that side, then this is half mg plus FSA1 y by x into B, equation number 3. Similar, F2A minus FS2A is equal to half mg plus this is. So equation number 3 and 4 will be written like this. So if you take A common, this is simply nothing but F1 minus FS1 into A is equal to half mg plus FSA1 y by x into B. Then this is F2 minus Fs2 into A is equal to half mg plus this. Okay, so I got the equations in a simplified form, like F1 minus Fs1 into A, like half mg FSA1 y by x, okay, like F2 minus Fs2A is equal to half mg FSA by 2 into y by x into B. Now let me write equation number 6 minus 5. Let me write equation 6 by equation 6 minus equation 5. Substitute, you just calculate equation 6 minus 5. So what it gives? Equation 6 minus 5. So this is F2, equation 6 minus equation 5. That is F2 minus F1 into A, okay, minus of Fs2 minus Fs1 A is equal to half mg will get cancelled. Then what will be left over? FSA2 minus FSA1. So I will take y by x is outside, half is also there outside, by by 2x. This is the equation number 7. So what I did is simple mathematics. Equation 6 minus equation 5, F2 minus F1 into A minus, I have taken common minus, then Fs2 minus Fs1 into A is equal to half mg will get cancelled. Then FSA2 minus FSA1 into B, y by x is taken out and 2 is also there, by 2x. So that is the 7th equation. So the equation number 7. So just now we have written the equation 7, which is nothing but the equation is F2 minus F1 into A minus Fs2 minus Fs1 into A, okay, is equal to FSA2 minus FSA1 into by 2x. So this is the equation which we have used. This is the equation number 7. This is already just now we have derived. Okay. So this equation, the 7th equation, is the basic equation, and for this, what is F2 minus F1 component, Fs2 minus Fs1 component, FSA2 minus FSA1 component, those things we will write separately. Okay, those things we will write separately. See, what is Fs2 minus Fs1? Fs2 minus Fs1 is nothing but change of spring force, change of main spring force. How to get this Fs2 minus Fs1? That is the spring stiffness multiplied by the spring, how much it is elongated. How many springs are there? I said there are 2 main springs which are connected in parallel. So 2, that is 2 springs, and its stiffness is S. Its stiffness is S, 2S. Okay. And how much amount it is expanding, that is the difference of the radius into 2, like this. So what is this? Stiffness, effective stiffness. 2 springs are there. They are connected parallel. When they are connected parallel, then the total stiffness is 2 times of S into how much it elongates, R2 minus R1 into 2. So that becomes 4s R2 minus R1. So we can write Fs2 minus Fs1 like this. Then what is FSA2 minus FSA1? Let us see. FSA2 minus FSA1. What is this? This is nothing but the change of auxiliary spring, okay, force during the position 2 to the position 1. That is HA. That is, if the main spring lift is H, then auxiliary spring lift I am calling HA. HA. This is H is main lift or sleeve lift. Sleeve lift. And whereas HA is auxiliary spring lift or movement. This is H stands for main lift or sleeve lift, and HA is auxiliary spring lift. So here we are writing the difference of auxiliary spring, okay, forces change. So that's why this is auxiliary spring lift is HA, and what is its corresponding stiffness? SA. Yes, we said main spring stiffness, and SA is auxiliary spring stiffness. Okay, so HA into SA. So how we can write this? This can be written as HA into SA is equal to H times of Y by X into SA. So how we will get this? Let us see. So this is HA into SA, which is equal to HY X into SA. How we get? Let us see. So you can look at this. We have auxiliary spring. The auxiliary spring moment is HA, and the main spring, not main spring, main lift is H. So here this is the fulcrum point. This is HA, auxiliary spring, causing a movement of HA. And during that time, the sleeve lift is said to be H, and we defined this is X and this is Y. So if I write this is theta, this also theta. So this is a lever or a link, which is a link. No, it is a bar like this. Then you can write this is like Y, HA is equal to Y theta. HA is equal to, this is Y theta, and this is here you can write H is equal to theta X. From here I can write theta is equal to HA by Y, and here I can write theta is equal to H by X. So if I equate both of them, like HA by Y is equal to H by X, then HA is HY by X. That is what I have written here. So what I did is I have calculated the HA, that is the auxiliary spring displacement in terms of the lift of the sleeve H. So if this makes theta, this also makes theta, then HA is equal to y theta, and from there theta is equal to HA by y. And similar here, you can write H is equal to theta x, from there theta is equal to H by x. So both left hand sides are equal, HA by y is equal to H by x. Then HA can be written as HY by x. That is the second part. Okay. So I got FSCA2 minus FSCA1, and I got other one, what is it, FS2 minus FS1. So let me substitute these values in the equation number 7, that is A times of F2 minus F1. Okay, this I will take it on the right hand side. This becomes plus, then what is Fs2 minus Fs1? This is, say, equation number 8. This is equation number 9. So this becomes, so substitute eight and 9 values in equation 7. So A into F2 minus F1 is equal to 4 into this S R2 minus R1. Already A is there, A, plus FSA2 minus FSA1, that is HY by X into SA, okay, this into BY by 2X. So let me write this equation as equation number 10. This is equation number 10. Okay, this is substituting simply equation 8 and 9 into 7th equation. I got this one. So I will replace the other part, like, what is it? I have HY by X into SA. Okay, so YB, this is BY by 2X, so divide the entire equation by divide entire equation by R2 minus R1 okay, divide the entire equation by R2 minus R1 by A. Divide the entire equation by R2 minus R1. So here this is A F2 minus F1 by R2 minus R1 is equal to 4S. R2 minus R1 by R2 minus R1 will get cancelled. A plus HY by X into R2 minus R1 into SA into BY by 2X. Okay, so I divided this entire equation number 10 by R2 minus R1. Then I got A into F2 minus F1 by R2 minus R1. Then R2 minus R1 here will get cancelled. It remains remaining components of 4SA plus HY by X into R2 minus R1 into SA into BY by 2X. Okay, and we can rewrite the other part like the vertical, the main spring movement, like this R2 minus R1 also can be replaced like this. Say this is the position 2 and this is the position 1. Say this is the position 1. This is R2 and this is R1. So R2 and R1, the total angle change is theta and this total angle change is also theta. So what is this total moment is H. And this is R2 minus R1. So write simple a sector equation like this is R2 minus R, this is A and this is B. So we can write this is A theta, okay, is R2 minus R1 and B theta is equal to H. A theta is equal to R2 minus R1 and B theta is equal to H. From there we can write theta is equal to R2 minus R1 by A and from here we can write theta is equal to H by B. So if you equate the theta on left hand side, okay, so this R2 minus R1 by A is equal to H by B. So R2 minus R1 by A is equal to H by B. B by A, H is equal to B by A into R2 minus R1. So I can rewrite this H is equal to B by A, okay, into R2 minus R1. So I replace this value, what is it, R2 minus R1 into, okay, B by A. Here I don't have A here, so the entire equation I multiply with A, then divided by with A. So with that simplification I will get the final equation, okay, the final equation I will get which is used to solve the problem, okay. That value, that equation is substituting the obtained values, okay. So we can write the final equation like FA2 minus FA1 is equal to HA into SA is equal to H1Y by X into SA, which is also equated to R2 minus R1 into B by A into y by x into SA. Okay, so by rearranging these terms, we get A into F2 minus F1 minus 4SA into R2 minus R1 is equal to R2 minus R1 into B square Y square by 2AX square into SA. Okay, so F2 minus F1 by R2 minus R1 is equal to 4S plus by AX whole square into SA by 2. So F2 minus F1 by R2 minus R1 is equal to 4S into BY by AX square into SA by 2. So this is the equation which we use to solve the problems. So F2 by minus F1 by R2 minus R1 is equal to 4S plus BY by AX whole square into SA by 2. Okay. So in the next and last lecture, we'll solve a problem on this Wilson-Hartnell governor, and we will explain the characteristics of a governor like stability, isochronism, hunting. Okay, these terms associated with the performance of a governor. That finishes the 4th chapter. Governors is the one where you can score good marks in problems as well as analytical, theoretical part questions also. So don't leave this chapter as a choice, because here the total 5 topics are there. 5 topics, 5 into 2 problems, 10, that covers the entire unit. Straightforward problems. If you know the analysis part, your job is only substituting the data in the existing equations. See, this equation, if you remember, then the next class problem what we are going to solve is simply substituting in this equation by writing F2, F1 values, the centrifugal forces, and reading the problem and identifying various parameters like A, B, SA, R2, R1, that will solve the problem very easily. Okay, so thank you.